What's the weirdest thing you've done as a result of social anxiety? 1. One year in high school, I didn't have any friends in my lunch period. Instead of making friends with the other kids, I'd eat really fast, say I had to go study in the library, and then just wander around the halls until lunch was over. Except you weren't allowed to roam the halls like that, so I had to sneak around to avoid any teachers or hall monitors. I spent a lot of that time going from bathroom to bathroom, just standing there waiting for time to pass. I didn't actually go to the library because I didn't want to spend my free time studying. I wasn't a huge fan of school in the first place. Sneaking around was honestly more appealing to me. 2. I asked a worker in the mall for assistance the other day. She looked at me really weird and said she didn't work there. I internally freaked out, said, "I know," and then asked if she could still help me. She agreed, turned around, and walked in the direction I needed help with, facing away from me. I immediately power walked out of there. 3. I walked past my classroom but didn't want to look stupid doing a freshman 180, so I circled all the way around the building. I missed it again, then walked to some random restroom nearby and sat there for like 5 minutes because I didn't want people to recognize me as the dude who keeps doing laps around the chem lab building. 4. I was going to leave my room to make dinner, but then I heard my roommates and their friends talking outside. I didn't want to talk to them, so I waited until they left and just bought takeout instead. 5. I was at Chipotle. The girl asked me how my day had been, and I said, "Large, please," because I got confused and thought she was asking what size I wanted. Then she asked if I wanted white rice or brown rice, and I said, "Yes." 6. I get self-conscious about the speed of my windshield wipers. I'm always comparing them to other cars so I don't look like I'm overdoing it. 7. I'm a retail cashier. A woman was buying a dress and humorously stated that she might be too fat for it. Me, never one to disagree with a customer, smiled and said, "Yup." I burned a few calories hitting my head on the counter after that exchange. She didn't catch it right away, but as she walked off, I think the penny dropped. I was left to wallow at my register for the remainder of my shift. 8. I skipped out on a really good job interview because they wanted me to do a presentation in front of a few people as part of the interview. 9. I've gotten out of my car, walked up to the house where a party was happening, then walked back to my car, then walked back up to the house, then back to my car, until I finally texted my friend at the party, asking him to come get me outside so I wouldn't have to walk in front of the crowd alone. 10. The other day at my small office, I went to the bathroom to fix my shirt, which I had accidentally worn inside out. When I entered the stall, the bathroom was empty. As I flipped my shirt around, someone walked into the stall next to me. I also used some toilet paper to wipe my nose and dropped it in the bowl. This triggered the auto flush sensor, and it flushed. Here's where my predicament began. I realized I also had to pee, but since I had already used toilet paper and flushed, my twisted mind decided this would seem really weird to the person next door. Why would someone use the bathroom, flush, and then stand up and pee again? But I couldn't hold it. I was afraid they might recognize my shoes and know who I was. So I hatched a clever deception. I left the stall and washed my hands to seem normal, despite the fact that I hadn't even used the bathroom. After drying my hands, I walked loudly to the exit and opened the door into the hall. Then I said, "Oh, excuse me," like I'd bumped into someone else coming in, and walked right back in. I made sure to change the sound of my footsteps, walking more quietly, so the person in the stall would think I was a different person and not some freak playing bathroom charades. Then I went to the urinal, peed, and washed my hands again, this time using the farthest sink so they couldn't spot my shoes.